Today was such a good day. It's a good morning. I went for my morning exercise. As you can see, my morning clothing, outfit, attire, apparel, whatever you may want to call it. So I just want to be strong and physically fit, healthy also. Yeah, so I try to do exercises maybe 3 times a week at most. I don't go more than 3, 4 sometimes, but really I love my bed too much. I don't do more than that. Yeah, so last week I talked about how I transitioned from the village going into Lilongwe. So I stayed in Lilongwe for about 6 years. Then my brother negotiated with my aunt saying that I have to take her with me to Zomba. So I moved to Zomba. And I'm telling you, my life has been filled with this sort of transition. And with this transition, it was different because at this time, I was a grown-up, 10 to 11 years old, and I would recollect almost everything that happened. And it was so hard on me because it was like, for example, when a child has just been abruptly weaned from the breast, like this is it. Like all of a sudden, you are weaned and your childhood ends here. Now you are growing up. You start acting like a grown-up all of a sudden. It was a moment for me that the circumstances led me. Okay, it was a moment of loneliness and aloneness, but I also developed strength. And there was some sort of self-dependence. And I was always on my guard that, I had just developed this defense mechanism that every time I have to prepare to defend myself. Like, yeah, that's how it was like. And, well, at that time, I used to cry a lot because of situations and circumstances. I would cry a lot, but child of God, God sees all those tears that is falling from you. Those tears, and that cry, God hears it. When you call him, he's listening. It's okay to cry, of course, it's okay, but cry to God. He'll wipe away your tears and he's gonna hear you. Know that there is something better for you in future. Of course, it may sound counterintuitive, but now it may be counterintuitive, but in the future there is something, because God is forming your character. This time when you feel like you are passing through the furnace, the heat, it's forming you and molding you to be a better person in the future. And that's exactly what it did to me. It made me into a strong person. It made me into a hardworking person, because I knew that I don't want to stay in these circumstances forever. I want to improve in my life. And the trajectory of my life previously was like a gentle slope, but at this point it just went up. Just went like this. That's how hard it was for me, because it was all of a sudden. But look at the positive side in every situation, because for me, looking back, this was a turning point for my life. This is the point that made me into the person I am, because God has to develop your capacity for you to be able to handle the blessings that he would give you in future. So you really have to go through this no matter what. If you don't go through such experiences, I'm telling you, you'll be a weak person. Yeah, so something else happened also when I was in Zomba. My brother was a secondary school teacher, and all the time when I would finish my day's chores and we have had dinner, he used to say, hey, go and study. So each and every evening I had to stay behind at the dining room table and study. It was tough love. I should confess that it was tough love. And sometimes I feel like, oh, I'm tired of a day's work. But my brother would say, no, study. And I would stay behind and study and study and study. And I was always learning new things. And boy, this discipline improved my performance in school, because it's like my performance skyrocketed from being a double-digit student in terms of position in class to being a single-digit student. And all of a sudden, I moved from double-digit to position number 2. And the whole 1 year that I stayed in Zomba, I maintained position number 2. So, second lesson is always study, improve yourself, learn new things, do your research, whether you're a student or whether it's in the workplace or whether you want to preach. Prepare at each and every step. Prepare yourself. Study to position yourself to be used by God. God will only use you for higher things if you prepare and position yourself. So don't forget to study. Learn new things. Go to the internet. Go to Google. You know, sometimes when you're at school, you will meet some teachers who've got their own agendas. You know, when I'm listening sometimes to what my child is learning at school, I'm like, you know, is this what the school is teaching us children? Because some teachers have got their own agendas, but go to the internet, look at the critical views of that particular position, and see, make an informed decision that, oh, this is what the teacher told us, but I think this is the truth. This is what the critics are saying. Look at that, study, and make an informed decision from that. Of course, when you're in class, you just go with it because you want to pass exams, but at the end of everything in life, you know what is right and what is wrong. If you study, you learn, you prepare yourself. I've just remembered one thing. You know, people in Zomba, they love having their, we call it in the vernacular, Nandolo. It's called pigeon peas. Oh, this time around, I've never seen so much pigeon peas in my life. And it was like you'd have it as a relish, where you just saute some onions and some garlic and some whatever, some tomato, and you add with the pigeon peas, and you have it with whatever starch is there, more especially in Sima, because it's our staple here in Malawi. Or they would have it as a snack called Makata, where they would just take the pigeon peas and boil it without peeling off. And when it's boiled and cooked, they will now peel off the pod or the shell, whatever it's called, the pod. They'll peel it off and they just eat as a morning snack or an afternoon snack. And oh boy, people do eat Makata. And I had it for a year, but for me it was like a lifetime of having Makata and the pigeon peas, and I don't want it anymore. I don't want Nandolo anymore. And when I come to your house, don't ever dare give me Nandolo or Makata or whatever you call it. I'll not eat it. That's how much I've had it. I'll just eat your nsima with salt or with pepper, but not Nandolo or Makata or whatever you call it. Yeah, guys, do you have your least favorite food in life? To me, it's pigeon peas. Yeah, that aside, the thing that I was trying to drive home at was that, one, look at the positive side of every situation, and two, learn, improve yourself to position yourself. Learn, study. God is in every situation, looking and preparing you. Because even the good book itself, it says in the book of 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 15, that study to show yourself approved, a workman, approved unto God, a workman that needs not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. So study to show yourself a good workman, approved by God, unto God. So that's my message for you today. Learn to look at the positive side of every situation. It brings immense satisfaction To me, it was not just sheer luck that I did well in school. It wasn't just sheer chance, but it was because I was studying, as my brother had taught me. I learned the hard way, but it improved my performance. So, study, study, study. Learn, learn. Do your research. Do your preparation. Thank you, guys. It was a pleasure talking again this morning. Thanks so much. Stay blessed.